Life has a strange way of teaching us lessons. Some we learn in school, some we learn at work, but the most important ones are often learned through mistakes. This is the story of a young man named Ethan Parker. Ethan was 25 years old, intelligent, and ambitious. People always said he had great potential. But there was a problem. Ethan was a man of extremes. When he decided to study, he studied until his eyes turned red from lack of sleep. He would drink cups of coffee, skip meals, and bury himself in books for days. At first, it seemed admirable. Look how hardworking he is, people would say. But soon, his body grew weak, his health declined, and his mind became foggy. When Ethan worked on his career, it was the same. He poured his whole soul into projects. He didn't just want to succeed, he wanted to be perfect. Every detail had to be flawless. Every task had to be bigger than anyone else's. But in his pursuit of excellence, he forgot one thing: himself. He forgot to rest. He forgot his family. He forgot his own peace. And when Ethan relaxed, he went to the other extreme. Instead of resting in balance, he would binge on video games for 12 hours straight, or scroll endlessly on his phone. He drowned himself in distractions as if trying to escape the pressure of life. In everything, Ethan was too much. Too intense, too restless, too extreme. At first, he didn't see the problem. He thought, this is who I am. This is how greatness is achieved. But over time, he began to feel the cracks forming. His health grew worse, his relationships became strained, and his spirit felt empty. One day, after a particularly exhausting week at work, Ethan sat in the park, head in his hands, wondering why life felt so heavy. It was there he met an old gardener. The man was in his 70s, his hands rough from years of planting, but his face carried a calmness Ethan had never seen. The gardener was watering plants gently, giving each one just the right amount. Not too much, not too little. Ethan watched in silence until the old man spoke. "Son," the gardener said, smiling, "why do you look so burdened?" Ethan sighed. "I'm trying to do everything right. I work hard, I study hard, I try to give my best. But somehow, I'm always tired, always unhappy. I don't understand." The gardener chuckled softly. "Do you see these plants? Each one needs water, but if I give too much, they drown. If I give too little, they wither. The secret is balance. Life is no different." Ethan frowned. "But isn't giving more always better?" The gardener shook his head. "No, my boy. Too much of anything, no matter how good, becomes poison. Too much food makes you sick. Too much rest makes you lazy. Too much ambition steals your peace. Even love, if not balanced, can turn into obsession. The world was created with balance, day and night, work and rest, joy and sorrow. If you want a peaceful heart, you must learn this balance." The words struck Ethan deeply. For the first time, he realized that his problem wasn't laziness, it wasn't failure, it was imbalance. He had been drowning himself in extremes, forgetting that moderation is wisdom. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The gardener's words echoed in his mind. Too much of anything becomes poison. The next morning, Ethan made a decision. He would change his life, not by working less or dreaming smaller, but by living with balance. At first, it wasn't easy. Ethan was so used to extremes that balance felt strange. He began by creating small changes. Instead of working 14 hours straight, he worked 8 hours with breaks, giving himself time to breathe. Instead of ignoring his family, he scheduled dinners with his parents once a week. He realized how much he had missed their voices. Instead of chasing perfection, he focused on progress. Slowly, his life began to change. His health improved, his relationships grew stronger. His mind became clearer. For the first time, Ethan felt peace, not because he had achieved everything, but because he had found balance. One evening, as Ethan studied, he lit a candle. If the flame is too high, it burns out quickly. If it's too low, it dies. His life had been like that candle flame, burning too bright at times, almost dying at others. But now, it burned steadily, giving light without destroying itself. Months passed, and people began to notice the change in Ethan. He was no longer the exhausted, restless young man. He carried a calm confidence. His friends asked, "What happened to you?" Ethan smiled and said, "I learned the secret to peace. Don't be too much be balanced." He began sharing this wisdom with others, co-workers, friends, even strangers who were struggling. He told them the story of the gardener, the plants, and the lesson of balance. And just like the gardener had once guided him, Ethan became a guide for others. You see, life is not about extremes. It's about rhythm, work and rest. Effort and ease, giving and receiving. Silence and speech, the sun rises, but it also sets. The heart beats, but it also pauses. Nature itself survives on balance. The tragedy of modern life is that we often live in extremes, working without rest, consuming without gratitude, chasing without stopping. And then we wonder why peace escapes us. But the truth is simple: balance is peace. Balance is strength, balance is freedom. So, my friend, ask yourself today, are you giving too much to one thing and neglecting another? Are you drowning in ambition but starving for peace? Are you chasing perfection but losing joy? Remember this: don't be too much. Don't be too little. Be balanced. Because true happiness is not found in extremes, it is found in harmony. Like the gardener with his plants, like the candle with its flame, your life, too, must find its steady rhythm. And once you do, you will discover the most precious gift of all, a peaceful heart.